On the morning of October 21st, 2016, massive portions of the internet simply vanished. Without warning, users across the globe found themselves locked out of Twitter, Netflix, Reddit, and Spotify. Major digital platforms were going dark, one by one. The immediate public reaction was panic. People wondered if a foreign military launched a coordinated strike, or if the physical underwater cables connecting the continents had been severed. While these individual websites were the visible casualties, the failure originated at a deeper layer of the internet's architecture, a company represented by this central pillar called Dyn. Dyn was a major infrastructure provider. They managed the domain name system, which essentially acts as the master switchboard for the web. When typing a web address, providers like Dyn ensure you connect to the right server. Taking down a massive, heavily fortified switchboard like Dyn requires immense computing power. Yet, the weapon that crippled this enterprise-grade system did not come from a highly sophisticated, state-sponsored server farm. The 2016 blackout exposed a vulnerability in the global web that no one saw coming. A weakness that proved the internet's most critical hubs could be dismantled from the outside in. To understand how this happened, we have to look back at the early 2010s. This was the boom of the Internet of Things, or IoT. Suddenly, millions of cheap, everyday gadgets were being manufactured with Wi-Fi chips inside them. Take a look at the standard security camera. It is cheap, ubiquitous, and crucially, it sits far outside the protective walls of traditional IT departments. These internet-connected devices were rapidly integrated into our most private spaces. Hardware like this baby monitor constantly streamed video and audio directly to the web, sitting inches away from sleeping infants. But millions of these gadgets shared a fatal, overlooked flaw. As you can see in this manual's highlighted text, they shipped with hard-coded default administrative credentials. Anyone could log in by just typing admin and 12345. Hackers realized they didn't need to bypass complex firewalls if they could simply log in using credentials that were never changed from their factory settings. The tech industry prioritized easy, out-of-the-box setups over baseline security. In doing so, they unwittingly turned millions of living rooms into staging grounds for cyber attacks. Someone decided to weaponize those living rooms using a piece of automated malware named Mirai. Once released into the wild, Mirai tirelessly scanned the internet, systematically testing devices to see if they still responded to those default passwords. This diagram shows Mirai's process. It infected vulnerable hardware, linking them into a hidden botnet. Owners noticed nothing. Routers and cameras functioned normally while secretly pooling computing power. Then, attackers triggered a DDoS strike. Every infected device simultaneously bombarded a single target with junk data. The target was Dyn. These massive, enterprise-grade server racks were physically overwhelmed by the sheer volume of digital traffic. They couldn't process legitimate requests because they were suffocating under the coordinated flood from the botnet. Mirai showed how digital leverage works in a connected age. Millions of weak processors, operating in perfect unison, generated enough force to overpower enterprise defenses. Inside cyber defense centers like this one, the Mirai attack forced a harsh realization. The traditional perimeter of network defense had vanished. Analysts had to confront a new operational reality. The internet's ecosystem was so tightly integrated that a vulnerability in a cheap home appliance could successfully disrupt global traffic. This massive disruption forced the industry to adapt. Manufacturers began mandating password changes during initial setup. Operating systems pushed automatic patches, and infrastructure providers decentralized their routing networks to absorb large impacts. Yet, looking at a modern smart home interface like this, the threat is compounding. Today, everything from thermostats and door locks to refrigerators is online. We are expanding the attack surface every single year. The reality we live with today is that the most dangerous cyber weapons aren't necessarily being developed in secret government labs. They are sitting quietly on our shelves. Change your default passwords.